The monotony and solitude of a quiet life stimulates the creative mind. We cannot despair of humanity since we ourselves are human beings. We still do not know 1,000% of what nature has revealed to us. If people are good only because they fear punishment and hope for reward, then we are a sorry lot indeed. A table, a chair, a bowl of fruit, and a violin. What else does a man need to be happy? There are two ways to live. You can live as if nothing is a miracle. You can live as if everything is a miracle. Great spirits have always encountered violent opposition from mediocre minds. Do not worry about your difficulties in mathematics. I can assure you mine are still greater. Only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. A question that sometimes drives me hazy: am I or are the others crazy? When you are courting a nice girl, an hour seems like a second. When you sit on a red-hot cinder, a second seems like an hour. That's relativity. Our task must be to free ourselves by widening our circle of compassion to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature and its beauty. Common sense is the collection of prejudices acquired by age 18. He who can no longer pause to wonder and stand wrapped in awe is as good as dead. His eyes are closed. The world is a dangerous place to live. Not because of the people who are evil, but because of the people who don't do anything about it. The true sign of intelligence is not knowledge, but imagination. It is the supreme art of the teacher to awaken joy in creative expression and knowledge. Education is what remains after one has forgotten what one has learned in school. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. It is strange to be known so universally and yet to be so lonely. The gift of fantasy has meant more to me than my talent for absorbing positive knowledge. Pure mathematics is, in its way, the poetry of logical ideas. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a very persistent one. Whoever is careless with the truth in small matters cannot be trusted with important matters. I live in that solitude which is painful in youth, but delicious in the years of maturity. The only reason for time is so that everything doesn't happen at once. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we used when we created them. If we knew what it was we were doing, it would not be called research, would it? Any man who can drive safely while kissing a pretty girl is simply not giving the kiss the attention it deserves. The important thing is not to stop questioning. I am not only a pacifist, but a militant pacifist. I am willing to fight for peace. Nothing will end war unless the people themselves refuse to go to war. Weakness of attitude becomes weakness of character. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Only two things are infinite: the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the former. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. No amount of experimentation can ever prove me right. A single experiment can prove me wrong. No problem can be solved from the same level of consciousness that created it. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. Try not to become a man of success, but rather try to become a man of value. It is my conviction that killing under the cloak of war is nothing but an act of murder. The value of a man should be seen in what he gives and not in what he is able to receive. It is a miracle that curiosity survives formal education. Politics is for the present. but an equation is for eternity. Few people are capable of expressing with equanimity opinions which differ from the prejudices of their social environment. Most people are even incapable of forming such opinions. The high destiny of the individual is to serve rather than to rule, to raise new questions, new possibilities, to regard old problems from a new angle, requires creative imagination and marks real advance in science. In matters of truth and justice, there is no difference between large and small problems, for issues concerning the treatment of people are all the same. Without deep reflection, one knows from daily life that one exists for other people. I do not believe in immortality of the individual, and I consider ethics to be an exclusively human concern, with no superhuman authority behind it. Most people say that it is the intellect which makes a great scientist. They are wrong. It is character. Whoever undertakes to set himself up as a judge of truth and knowledge is shipwrecked by the laughter of the gods. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. It is the source of all true art and science. Concern for man and his fate must always form the chief interest of all technical endeavors. Never forget this in the midst of your diagrams and equations. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly. He who joyfully marches to music in rank and file has already earned my contempt.
Anyone who doesn't take truth seriously in small matters cannot be trusted in large ones either.
People love chopping wood. In this activity, one immediately sees results. I want to know all God's thoughts. All the rest are just details. Any man who reads too much and uses his own brain too little falls into lazy habits of thinking. Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind. Technological progress is like an axe in the hands of a pathological criminal. Joy in looking and comprehending is nature's most beautiful gift. All religions, arts, and sciences are branches of the same tree. Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler. I believe that a simple and unassuming manner of life is best for everyone, both for the body and the mind. All that is valuable in human society depends upon the opportunity for development accorded the individual. I very rarely think in words at all. A thought comes, and I may try to express it in words afterwards. Solitude is painful when one is young, but delightful when one is more mature. The most incomprehensible thing about the world is that it is comprehensible. I do not believe that civilization will be wiped out in a war fought with the atomic bomb. Perhaps 2/3 of the people of the earth will be killed. The road to perdition has ever been accompanied by lip service to an ideal. Nothing is more destructive of respect for the government and the law of the land than passing laws which cannot be enforced. True art is characterized by an irresistible urge in the creative artist. The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives. Heroism on command, senseless violence, and all the loathsome nonsense that goes by the name of patriotism, I hate them passionately. Knowledge of what is does not open the door directly to what should be. Never do anything against conscience, even if the state demands it. The devil has put a penalty on all things we enjoy in life. Either we suffer in health, or we suffer in soul, or we get fat. Confusion of goals and perfection of means seems, in my opinion, to characterize our age. I used to go away for weeks in a state of confusion. It is only to the individual that a soul is given. That deep emotional conviction of the presence of a superior reasoning power revealed in the incomprehensible universe, forms my idea of God. Isn't it strange that I, who have written only unpopular books, should be such a popular fellow? If I were not a physicist, I would probably be a musician. I often think in music. I live my daydreams in music.
We shall require a substantially new manner of thinking if mankind is to survive. The attempt to combine wisdom and power has only rarely been successful, and then only for a short while. Small is the number of people who see with their eyes and think with their minds. I think and think for months and years. 99 times the conclusion is false. The 100th time, I am right. There comes a time when the mind takes a higher plane of knowledge, but can never prove how it got there.